Hey guys, Frank Spencer here, and today we're going to do our weekly market analysis on Water Ranch. And if you remember last week, we took a look at Chatsworth, and we have a lagging market. It's very close to a buyer's market, but good news is Porter Ranch is showing a little bit more to it. So with that, we'll get going. By now, you all know that if in fact a market action index number reaches 30 or below, that's a buyer's market. And Chatsworth was 32. We're talking about Porter Ranch, and what's the magic number? 42. Looking good, looking much better. Um, Odds are that your home's going to sell in a reasonable period of time, about 4 months, I'm afraid, but it's going to sell. And we're going to go through some of the numbers. Buyers don't have, I think, quite the enthusiasm in Chatsworth that they still have for Porter Ranch for a number of reasons: gated communities, um, newer housing, and luxury housing, and all of those things, all in one bundle under one basket. Shopping, all of that, subject to uh, and embraced by the community of Porter Ranch. So, with all that being said, let's take a look at where we are right now. And so we want to start out here with the median price, median list price. So let's talk a little bit about that because, um, again, real estate is always measured over time. And if we go back to January 2020 and we cut through all the peaks and all the valleys, the market is certainly up from where it was. But if we go back to June of this year, we've seen an adjustment in the values. And you notice I said adjustment. I think adjustments are good. I think we reset the market typically, and then we start to move forward again. And that's really what we're seeing here, I think. There's an adjustment in the market. Median price of new listings coming on the market. Let's take a look at that graph. Well, let's do it this way. Median, oh, there it is. Median price on new listings is about 2.6, and that's reflective of some of those newer, larger homes. And but all things being said, um, we look okay right now. Let's go to average days on market, and what's that trend line telling us? If we go back again to June 2020 and we come straight across, well, it's marginally above. Now, we know that 2021, um, we started that up, down cycle with a general trend line of up. And a lot of things happened from 2021 moving forward. And we're talking about interest rates going from maybe 3% going all the way up to 9%. And now they're bobbing around 7%. So that's a problem. Then we're talking about the commission guidelines changing and buyers having to negotiate a commission payment with the seller or pay it out of pocket. And that's creating some stress. And by the way, I scratch my head. I'm trying to remember, but I think there was an election there along the way too, in which there was some uncertainty about which way the election would go. And now we've had that election, and all things being equal, I guess what I want you to know, just like I said last week, is I think we're going to start to see another uptick in prices. Now, I've read some reports that say this uptick could be upwards of 10%. I don't think so. I think I think the buyer is tired, but I do think 3.5, 4% year over year would just be an absolutely um, healthy uh, uh, uptick. But what I'm really telling you is buyers, if you're thinking of buying, don't predicate it on interest rate right now if you could buy. Predicate it on cost because cost is going to go up and you can always refinance out of interest rate. You cannot refinance out of price. So keep that in mind when you're making a decision whether or not now is the right time to buy. So let's take a look at a couple more of these here. Um, and we'll go to price per square foot. Now, remember that dip in uh, list price? It looked pretty dramatic when it sells. That adjustment, and that's why I said it's an adjustment, fairly moderate, and started about the same time in June, late May of last year, but not nearly as precipitous. And so if your property is priced right, it's going to sell. And buyers are looking for deals. So be prepared to roll up your sleeve, go to work, and make this happen. And it will happen. Might take 120 days. You might do it sooner. It just kind of is a little bit hit and miss out there right now. So you need to know that. A couple more details to look at. This is a big one. Properties with a price decrease. And again, going back to 2020, this is about a third, 34 percent, 33%, somewhere around there. And if we go up now, we're looking at 49%, so about 16% more. I got to tell you, in 22, I mean, it was nearing 60%. So if we couple that price decrease with relisted, 27% of the homes are relisting. So what does that mean? That means 76% of the homes who enthusiastically went to market have had to rework their listing strategy. So what that tells you is how important it is to get it right out of the gate. Make sense? I hope so. Those who price properly in the beginning aren't chasing the market. And when you chase the market, you always end up making less. You're on the market longer, you're paying mortgage rate longer, you more interest, and you're having to lower to list price in order to catch the market again. So bingo, that's where we're at. All right, so let's look. We got another one here we should see. Inventory. So inventory, strangely enough, is starting to tick back down. It's up. And again, if we go all the way back to 2020 through today, it's up quite a bit. But what I can tell you is it's about double the homes on the market, but still below historical level. So we're still okay. And we're starting to see a downtick in inventory. Some of that is sellers getting exhausted and coming off the market, but more of it is that buyers are buying up property. So a little bit of a mixed bag here in Porter Ranch, but the market still favors the sellers. Sellers don't over leverage that advantage. Be prepared to negotiate, and buyers don't assume you're going to get everything you want, but don't be afraid to ask for what you need. I guess that's what 32 years in the real estate industry will get you. My advice, and I hope it helped. I'm Frank Spencer, Mr. Chatsworth, and I will see you in escrow.